Of the channel, and today I wanted to bring you a quick little tips and tricks video for MLB The Show 19 franchise mode again. Just something that I was thinking about whenever I was going through here, and I got some information on various different sites online, and I kind of wanted to verify the accuracy of it before I reported it to you guys. But a pretty important aspect, actually, of the game that is kind of overlooked is the budget, which is directly tied into the salary cap. And I want to just kind of talk to you guys about how to manage it, and what that what that budget number right there per week means in order to kind of manage your team and tell how much salary cap you actually have. So in most games, as I'm sure you guys know, or if you don't know, if you're not that familiar with sports games, you usually get a salary cap number by year. And that's a lot easier to manage because then you can determine, you know, how much can I sign a player for per year in order to fit them in on the team. And whenever you go to free agents, actually, in MLB The Show 19 franchise mode, it's going to give you salary per year. And so it's kind of hard to figure out whether you can fit that person into your budget or not, because this isn't giving you the weekly number that's going to fit into what would be my $2 million per week budget that it's showing here on the budget screen. There's no real place that it's going to actually show your salary cap and what you have salary cap available. All that's going to show is your expenses. It's going to show, even down here on this screen, it's going to show what everybody's yearly salary is. You're not seeing weekly budgets down here. So it's a little bit odd that the budget is all shown as weekly amounts. And so that's just kind of what I wanted to show you guys, is like how to bridge the gap between all of these yearly salary amounts and everything like that, and then the budget that you actually have in terms of weekly amount here, and then also that number that you see on the left side, which is my bank balance. And there's a couple of distinctions there between what those things are. So your cash flow per week, your 2.08 million, is what it's showing here as your weekly budget, is not it's not what that $35 million bank balance is. So that's the amount that you've accumulated as a surplus through the entire season so far, based on how much money you are saving, how much money you have left over. So I have 2.80 million left per week, and so far through the season, that has added up to a balance of $35.11 million. And what that applies to is whenever you cut players. I'm not sure exactly how it works with contracts yet, because I haven't gotten to that point in the off season or anything. And you can sign players during spring trading, but I didn't delve into that yet. So what that is that 35 million can be used for things like your contracts with your coaches and stuff, buying them out. So if I wanted to fire this scout, for example, what it's going to do is it's going to make me pay out this guy's salary over the amount of years that he has left. And I think a better way to look at it would be my coach. So if I were to fire Clint Hurdle, I would have to pay 4 years at $5.8 million out immediately in order to buy him out and get rid of him and bring in a new coach. And what that means is I'd have to pay over $20 million in order to buy him out. And that would apply to my bank budget that I have there, that $35 million. So if I have enough in that $35 million bank budget, I could make a transaction like that and move on to a new coach. That's what that bank balance represents. But the 2.08 million represents your amount of salary cap that you have available per week as opposed to per year. And the simple calculation that I want to give you guys for this, since I've been kind of, wordy about this so far, is multiply your cash flow, that 2.08 million, which is also this budget number here on the front screen, which is also labeled as cash flow. Multiply 2.08 times 28, and that's what it's going to come out to be your salary cap that you have left available. So if I have 2.08 million weekly salary, multiply that by 28 weeks, and that's going to come out to about 58.25 million. So I have about 58.25 million in terms of salary cap total left available. And what that allows you to now do, now that you know that calculation, you can go to a free agent and say, okay, this is this is how much I'm able to spend. And I'm sorry, I have like something tickling in the back of my throat right now. But if I wanted to sign a guy to a 1-year deal, I know that I could sign somebody within, $50 million if I needed to, or I could sign a total amount of people within $50 million. I could trade for people that have higher salaries as long as I stay under that. And each time that you make a transaction, you're going to see that number change per week. But mathematically, it'll work out overall as a change. So if I went in and my budget's $2.08 million per week right now, and that's $58 million. If I were to go in and let's say I sign Dallas Keuchel to a 1-year deal right now, $6 million. Let's see. Well, he wants a 5-year deal, so I'm not going to save this, but we ended up signing him to a deal, and I want to go to the transaction and just verify the amount. So transactions, we signed him to a $24 million deal. So divide that by 4, that's $6 million per year. And what you'll see is that our budget went down from $2.08 million per week to $1.87 million per week. And what that means is if you take that difference there, we signed him to $6 million per year and divide that by 28, you're going to come out to 0.214. Now, if you add 0.214 back to the 1.87 that we have left over, and that comes out to $2.08 million per week. And so that's how you can manage your budget. It takes a little bit of mathematical calculation, excuse me, but that's how you figure it out. So essentially speaking, what that means is that at 2.08, I have 58 million per year available to spend. So take your budget amounts, multiply them out by 28. It is going to mathematically check out for you guys, and that's going to be a super simple and easy way for you guys to figure out what your actual salary is. Because like I said, everything in terms of signing free agents, it all talks about yearly amounts. It's not talking about weekly amounts. You're not going to see amounts, and maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but oh, it does actually say down in the bottom left, whenever you sign a free agent there, if you look under payout structure, it says the amount per week that's going to be spent over. But if you're looking at your budget amounts, I don't believe that it actually shows for these players what the amount is per week that you're going to be spending on these players. So that's pretty important. Pretty easy way to figure that out there. Just multiply by 28 or divide the salary per year by 28, and that's how much these guys are making per year. So Corey Dickerson, if I wanted to figure out what he's contributing to my cash flow, how much I'm paying him per week, I just take the 8.5 million, divide that by 28, and I find out that he is making, he's taking away 0.3 worth of my cash flow per week. So he's making $300,000 per week. And if I were to get rid of him, then my cash flow would go up to somewhere around 2.17 based on the amount that he's making. So it's a pretty simple calculation there. I'm not sure who calculated that out, but I assume the 28 weeks is just determined based on the number of weeks that are in a season. I would assume, and that would probably just be going through and counting out every single week how many there are and dividing it up. Or maybe it's the number of games divided by the number of weeks. I don't know, something like that. But it ends up being 28. That's how you work out your salary cap, and that's how you manage to work around these things. As you can see, if you have a number that's anywhere over like a million per week, you're in a pretty good range, and you're pretty safe to sign just about any free agents you want. Obviously, if I'm a team like the Pirates, I have a little bit more to spend because we keep our cash flow very low. And I 2.08 million, and I signed one of the top free agents, and I still have 1.87 left. So I have a ton of room to sign people in free agency if I decide to do it that way. But I hope that this helped you. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I hope that this helped you guys out a little bit. If it did give you some useful information, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Leave a comment down below with any feedback you have, any tips, tricks that you might have for me, or anything that you want me to talk about. Please leave them down in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a good one.